The first day of BP to hitters is always it's always fun. You know, there's a little extra adrenaline and all the guys who get up on the bump, and you know, you get to see pitches outside of a bullpen, and that's a step in the right direction. I thought that Lester had really nice downward plane, as they like to say. I thought he was keeping the ball down well. He had pretty good control of his throwing side of the plate. Daniel Bard showed that changeup a few times, showed the breaking ball a few times, had his two-seamer going well. He's looked very healthy and throwing the ball very nicely. I'm sorry, Sevis was in complete control of most of his pitches. Enjoying his stuff as he went out. Seeing Andrew Bailey, you know, first time in the middle of the diamond in a Red Sox uniform was great to see, and I thought his curveball and his cutters were just where he wants to be this time of the spring. Well, I mean, we could go through all of them. Anybody specific?
How hard with Seves is just to determine how he's more valuable to you, just because he can obviously do either role?
He can do either or. We'll see how that plays out, and see how his health plays out. He was very healthy last year. He looks in great shape right now. He's a really determined pitcher and an athlete. You all know him better than I do. I guess I'm really getting to know him, but you know, those innings, I mean, 90 valuable innings is pretty valuable when they're in meaningful ball games.
Bobby, as you put together the back end of the bullpen, are you likely to have one setup guy in the fashion that Bard was the last couple of years, where he was, you know, the eighth inning guy and sometimes came in the seventh? Are you mix and match there, or?
Sean, I think the talent will dictate that. You know, I don't have a puzzle that I'm trying to fit pieces into. I'm going to take the pieces and make the puzzle. So see what we have.
You just talked about 90 valuable innings that Sevis gave out of the bullpen last year. Yeah. Is there a concern that, you know, if Bard's in the rotation, that having both of them in the rotation would take too much from the bullpen? It's
a concern, but again, I don't know what else there is right now, and we'll have to see what the other members of this 2012 version can do, and when we see what they can do and how they fit into place, we'll know if we're adding or subtracting from last year, or if we're building something totally different and new.
Bobby, we're very early, obviously, in camp. When you go from, you know, pitcher to pitcher to pitcher, and you're watching them throw in the live BP, what kind of things are you looking at as far as your familiarity or getting to know them and getting to see what they throw and how they look?
I have different things that I look at. With young guys, I see how they make adjustments off of pitches thrown poorly, off of experienced guys after talking to them, and I know what they're trying to work on. I see if they're in fact trying to work on that and accomplishing what they're trying to work on. You know, most of the time I take a lot from the catchers, and I meet with the catchers afterwards to ask them what they actually saw and felt, and then at the end of the day, I'll meet with the pitching coaches to see what they felt. But what I'm looking at it's a number of things. Sometimes I'm looking to see if they're tipping pitches. You know, sometimes I'm just looking to see how their ball moves and start to visualize, you know, what kind of hitter, what type of hitter that guy's going to match up well against. Just learning. It's all learning.
It's a lot.
It's just learning. Yeah, it's fun. And, you know, sometimes guys' stuff translates different in the diamond than what you saw in the bullpen. And I'm always looking to see if there's anything different.
Do you remember all that stuff as you kind of build it up and you get into the season about certain things that you're looking for, obviously?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Yeah.
I used to remember.
What'd you see from Daisuke out there early this morning?
Daisuke, that's the best bullpen session he had. He's been, you know, he ran the name and done a little video work. They've done a little talking. Daisuke's trying. He's just trying to be himself, and you know, he had good finish to his pitches and his delivery. I think, you know, it was pretty good actually.
Yeah, I mean,
for a guy who's supposedly as far behind as he is, that was a pretty good bet.
Well, that's the thinking. I mean, are you surprised at how much velocity, how much pop he had in the ball? I know he's in the bullpen.
I'd probably say I was surprised. Yeah. Today, you saw that too. Yeah, I wanted to walk away, as a matter of fact.
Why?
Well, because they didn't want to push it. Usually, guys, you know, they hit a thing when they're coming back, and they regress a little, and he hasn't had any of that yet, and I don't want to be around if and when it happens.
Or cause it.
I don't want it to be my fault.
Bobby, when Ben and his guys were getting, you know, Aaron Cook and Carlos Silver and guys like that, how much were you know, were there guys that you liked or you felt like you wanted to see in camp?
I didn't have many of those. No. Nope, I've been following their lead, and I think their lead has been very good.
Of that group of guys, has there been anybody that you've seen that you've been pleasantly surprised with?
Tell me the whole group so I don't forget anybody.
You got Cook,
Yeah.
Padilla, Silva, I guess those are the
Mullendorf.
veteran guys. Andrew Miller, guys like that, I guess.
Well, I've been a little surprised with Andrew Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, you know, Bobby McClure has approached him about some little adjustment that he has received well, and seems to have it's translated in the bullpen, and we'll see how it goes from there.